My name is Sabrina Fideli, and this is my sound design and audio implementation breakdown of a city builder RPG called Airborne Empire. To make sure we match the aesthetic, tone, and gameplay of the Wandering Band's sequel to Airborne Kingdom, I made the following audio pillars: Tactile Informative, Centric, Cartoonish, Clean Player Sounds, and Rickety Enemy Sounds. Most gameplay choices are made in menus and are informed by a variety of notifications and alerts. This is why our team thought that board game-like and tactile UI sounds would fit our art style and mechanics best. Here's what I recorded to match that criteria. Next, let's talk about the game's characters. The player's airborne city and the towns it passes are all made up of hyper-intelligent, flightless birds. So, I use bird sounds in the most significant alerts and dialogue to indicate key info to the player. Different versions of certain alerts reveal whether your birds are happy or in danger of deserting. Take the morale level, which can be in low, medium, or high. My first example of this is the enemy incoming alert sound. The next example is the nighttime notification. The owl call and lethargy in which the drum is played changes depending on the morale level. Our final example will be the daytime notification. We kept the coupling of drums and bird calls so it was similar to the nighttime notification, except we added an Easter egg to this one based on our team's request. Bird sounds also alert the player to how their workers are doing. That's why I went out and got original bird recordings for the following notifications. There's lots of dialogue in this game, and our team decided that basing their calls on personality instead of species for most characters was best. One exception is the player's advisor, Quill, since he's a corvid. As for enemy crows, I decided to use the sounds of geese when they ejected from their planes. Those fit the game's silly and lighthearted tone, which we'll discuss next. Our team approved of the audio pillars being cartoonish since our goal was to emulate Miyazaki films and Breath of the Wild's mood and soundscape. So, I abandoned realism and went for exaggeration, and instrumentation. We didn't want any situation to feel dire, even when the player was in combat, which is why the player's city receiving damage lacks The Last of Us's amount of realism and gore. So, our impacts and explosions still carry a lightness to them. I found that these contact mic recordings could blunt their ferocity fairly well. Let's move on to how the player's weapons and machines sound. I reflected how well the player tends to their city by making their weapons clean, crisp, and bright. They don't have much processing compared to the enemy's sounds. We want the player to know from sound alone that the enemy's weapons are poorly maintained, dangerous, and of course, rickety. OTT at the start of this signal chain really helped with this. The enemy's plane movements were made with a tennis ball machine, a leaf blower fog machine, and a prop plane. This game, which is now in early access, wouldn't be possible without the Wandering Band and our composer, Paul Aubry. To keep this video brief, I'll need to stop here. My stint as audio director for Airborne Empire is not over just yet. Stay tuned in 2026 for a full release. Thank you.